call to member for McKellar.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Is there no motion that the Labor Party will not politicise? If there is no depth, that they will not plumb? If there is nothing that the union movement will not demand of them? I would say to the Labor Party that if this is the cost of donations from the union movement, they should send the money back. The last speaker speaks to us about labour hire, privatisation, and those sorts of notions.
To his seat for a moment. The member on a point of order.
I'm just asking what the relevance of this is. I'd like him to speak to the motion.
Well, I'll make a ruling first. There is no point of order. The member has the call.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. So those opposite asked for a point of order. Yet their speaker, the member for Eden Monaro, just spent 3.5 minutes in a 5-minute speech that is meant to be about the benefits, the costs, the sacrifice that other Australians, their fellow Australians, make to serve on our behalf. I'm talking about privatisation and labour hire firms. What is going on that side of the house these days? And so now he asked me if I listened to veterans. There is no government in the history of this federation, and I would expect the next one will do even more than we have for the veterans in this country. So the member opposite asked about how often they ask for a Royal Commission. It is this government that instituted a Royal Commission. After their government ignored it. After that, their government ignored it. We wanted to have a rolling commission on veteran affairs. I speak to the Northern Beaches Veterans Centre, which is now the Australian Veterans Centre. The snide remarks from those opposite will be noted by veterans in this country. The snide remarks from those opposite who would rather spend a time talking about the service and the sacrifice that fellow Australians make to defend our nation, talking about what the union donors would prefer them to talk about, rather than talking. And now he says I'm embarrassing. I'm embarrassing because I stand up for those serving in our defence forces. I'm embarrassing because I stand here as a member of a government that actually brought on a Royal Commission into veteran suicide, while those opposite did nothing but make snide remarks, while those opposite did the bidding of their union donors, while those opposite talk about labour hire and privatisation, while this government has invested and spent record amounts of money in veterans' welfare, while those in this government have done more to help those who have served our nation, who continue to serve our nation.
There is too much disruption in the
well, of course.
speech.
Sorry, Deputy Speaker. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Of course there is disruption because they can't hear the truth. They have to disrupt it because the truth is that this government, on behalf of the Australian people, on behalf of a grateful nation, has invested record amounts of money in veteran welfare, has invested record amounts of money in our defence forces to ensure that the people of Australia, because the first job of any government is the security and safety of its people, so that the people of Australia can know that when they go to bed at night that we have done, that their government has done everything it possibly can to ensure their safety and security. That is what sacrifice is. That is what service is, not just talking about whatever your largest donor wants you to talk about. So every day ADF members are protecting our borders and natural resources, providing humanitarian relief, disaster relief, and assisting in recovery efforts and contributing to regional stability. This is worth noting in this House, not being attacked snidely from those opposite because they would prefer to talk about a Royal Commission, labour hire and, of course, privatisation. The ADF represents a modern and inclusive and diverse workforce with an incredible array of high-tech, innovative and challenging full-time and part-time roles. Diversity in defence means respect for individual difference. It means valuing and using unique knowledge, skills and attributes our people bring to their work. And these are the things that we should be focusing on, not defending our serving men and women from the attacks opposite. The nature of military service has a significant differences to civilian employment, with unique demands and sacrifices from both ADF members and their families. Family moves are regular, their sacrifice sometimes seemingly random, and they do this because they put their fellow Australians before themselves. demands of the ADF are not only limited to national security and regional stability, they are about our safety and our security.
The question